So as I was saying, you can see why the um, indexed approach has become very, very popular, and why it's gained so much attention, because of that preservation of capital and avoiding against the downturn in the market. And we just have to keep in mind, though, that winning the inflation battle and winning the rate of return battle, we can't forget about taxes. I'm going to show you this example here in a minute, and it's going to kind of shock you about what can happen, okay? So let's just say there's a young man who's 30 years old. He goes into his banker and he wants to retire 30 years later with $1 million. So he tells his banker, Mr. Banker, how much do I have to put away every month in order to have $1 million when I retire in 30 years? And the banker says, well, it's paying 5% right now, so you only need $1,639. And the kid gets up and walks out, and never sees the banker again. And now the kid's 65 and he's at Walmart. You've seen that, right? So what would happen if he could potentially earn a higher rate? Let's say 10%. Look here, 10%, it shaves $700 off. I mean, he only needed to save $899 by doubling that from 5 to 10%. But what if he could also incorporate the tax deferral strategy along with that rate? Look, it cuts it down to $438. And that's crazy. I mean, you can do that, right? You probably know a lot of people that can do that. But again, Errol, it's not about a ton of money. It's about putting away consistently and reducing your taxes, okay? Getting a good rate of return on your money with the safety of principal, okay? And, in fact, if you do this right, you could literally shave years off of your potential retirement date. And let's talk about this for a minute, $1 million. What if you had $1 million? What would you be doing? I mean, what if you could have it at, what are you, 35 or so? You're 32? What if you could have it at 42 or 45? $1 million to your name? What would you be doing? Oh, you'd be taking the kids on road trips. I'm going to Spain again? Oh, yeah, I love travel myself. Oh, you work with the church a lot. Okay. Full time then, huh? Do whatever you want when you want. It's awesome. That's great. Wow. That's pretty cool. And you could potentially have that, and be really young enough to enjoy it, right? Who says you have to retire at 65? So, that's really neat, okay? Okay, let me show you step 7. The last step here is estate planning. Now, we don't do estate planning per se, Errol, but if the event comes up where you may need a living will or do some estate planning, we can link you up or refer you to some companies that do that. We have some firms that we use that we refer people to, but we don't do it per se in our office. And yeah, that's the 7 steps, and pretty cool. When you say pretty neat, yeah, they're awesome. So I'm going to ask you something really important, though. I'm going to go back here to this review page of all 7 steps. Now this is